Hey, what do old people eat for lunch? Sunday edition. Remember yesterday we were putting in new subflooring in one of the rentals we own. We redid the living areas and a little bit of kitchen, and it was about 700 square feet. Somebody said, what are you going to put in there? I call it click together, but it's really just a vinyl plank flooring where you just snap and pop. And each case is $66, $65.99 at the orange plate. It's a pretty good price. How many square feet does the case cover? I knew what you were thinking. 20.01 feet. You say, why are you looking at that, old man? You can find it cheaper. I can, but this is a one-touch install. Let me explain. They have a rubber backing on them because if you don't have it, the vinyl, you have to lay down the rubber backing at about 70 cents a foot. This way it comes as one piece. You snap it into place. You start in the middle and work your way out to the walls because no room is square. And remember, I'm frugal. So let's do a little math here. We got to figure out how many boxes we need, right? So if we have 700 square feet and we get 20, let's say 20 feet per box, because you're going to have cuts and throwaways. So I need 35 cases. Sweat trickling down my head. Because I can't get the price break because they have to buy 56 cases to get the $62.99. So we're going to pay $66 a case. So we got $66 a case at 35 cases. Just for that material is $2,310. That's for the top part. Remember, we had to replace 700 square feet of subflooring because the old 2-year-old carpet I'd put in there was destroyed. And they had pets that weren't supposed to have, and they tear up everything else, had tons of water spots, damage where they peed all over the place. I'm just venting. And I'm not picking on the Big Orange store. They just got the information on their website, so I'm just showing you. So their average for vinyl plank flooring install is between $2 and $6 a foot. That depends on how intricate it is, how many designs you want, how many cabinets, how much crap you got in the way. If the room's square, they're going to have to do tons of work. So let's say $3 a foot. I know you know what 3 times 700 is, but I'm just going to do it just in case you don't. So the labor cost on that's going to average about $2,100. So for materials, we're going to pay $2,310, and labor cost is going to be about $2,100. It's $4,410. But that's just the top part. Remember, I had to buy 22 sheets of planking. We spent almost 11 hours to install it yesterday. My buddy, the Baptist preacher, I pay him because his little church has a limited budget, and he gave me a deal. So that planking I bought for $22 a piece and 22 pieces was $484. Then we used almost 5 pounds of number 6 screws that are 1 inch and 5/8, $37. I'm estimating about $100 for haul off and disposal of waste. Most places they consider carpeting hazardous waste now. I compensated $400 in labor. I paid myself $0. Don't get me wrong, I think my time is valuable, and if it's not in my house that I live in, I have to charge myself because it's an operating expense for the company. It's just one of the corporations we own. You charge yourself because your time is valuable. The subfloor we got out really cheap for $921. Whoops, can't find out where my fingers are. So I'm not compensating for stuff. So I'm going to say our top laminate is going to be $4,500, and our subfloor was, we're going to round everything up because there's always an expense I don't know. So far, we're going to have $5,430 on the rehab on a house we rehabbed 2 years ago. Remember the 2-year-old ceiling fans and the 2-year-old water faucets I got to replace? The outside's going to need a painting. Just the cost of being in business. No such thing as passive income. So when you're very frustrated about the cost of housing, whether you own or rent, everybody rents. I just pay the insurance companies and the tax man. If you have a mortgage, you're paying your bank. But you choose, because that's where your babies grow up. How do you treat it? Because they're going to turn out how they learned and not what they're told. So we're not going to absorb any of these costs. We're going to turn it into the operating cost of each individual property we own. Because the property taxes went up, insurance goes up. I've got like a 400-foot driveway because it's out in the country. Okay, to maintain the driveway, our driveway's almost 300 feet long. And so each load on a dump truck is 14 yards. And that's just a cost. And if I didn't have a tractor, I'd have to hire somebody that's got a tractor because there's no way you're going to push that with a shovel. But the tenant expects to be able to drive up safely to his house or her house. Don't forget, somebody tore down the deck we built a couple of years ago on the back, and I've got to replace that. So yes, we do very well, but I work 7 days a week, 365 days a year. If I'm ever out of town, I carry 2 phones with 6 phone numbers to them. Piece of paper, I still get up at 6 o'clock every morning to make sure everybody's doing their thing. I'm not complaining because I love my life. Very few people are gouging you if they do everything right on property management. but they have to make a profit because it's an investment for themselves. If they break even, they lose, because every year, you know it like I do, everything goes up. The driveway's 300 feet long. Wish it was 400 feet. Then I could reach in the back, and I could build a storage building back there, so I wouldn't have to raise the rent on the property, because it's only, I can use it as dual use, and I could store some stuff for another company I own back there. That's what I'm thinking about. It'll save them money. I won't have to go up on rent. So how do we save money on this? If the subfloor, I charge myself $0. The preacher's going to install the click together, so why do I want to use the one piece only? You do the vinyl, you're doing double the labor, and he's got to get paid for both sides. So here's how we try to save money. Instead of the orange company, let's go to the blue company. That guy right there. And I found this online, but you look at it, it's $28 a box. And it's got the colors I like. Still got the colors I like. But the problem is I can't see the back of them. Let's do a little investigating. And then I looked it up, and it's a peel and stick. Looks good, but there's a reason why it was half the price. Okay, I'm back. Took a while. Found this one, but the biggest fear is he listed it 12 weeks ago, but he's charging $1 a foot. And let's take a look, see if it's in our parameters. Okay, it's the right color. Let's go back. I want to show you something. It's 37.5 feet a box. So I'm going to say 37 foot a box. It's the right color. There's the important part. That's the back. That's the black rubber we need on the back side of the laminate flooring. But he only has 21 boxes left. Let's figure it out. Okay, he's got 21 cases. He's got 37 foot per case. 777 feet. Ooh. Here's the hard part. It's a 66-mile drive each way. But if you're truly frugal, hard word to say, and if it's 777 feet and you got to buy it all, it's going to cost me $777. But is it worth it? Is it worth it? 3 hours out of my day for $1,533 in savings? Got to calculate the damage and destruction it does to your vehicle and the fuel and everything else. It's part of running a business. So even if it saves us $1,400, and don't forget the baseboard trim at about $1.15, $1.20 a foot. That's 157 feet. So I'm looking at probably $200 for that. We just work up from there. Trying to get out of it for less than $10,000. There's no way we made $10,000 in profit over the last 2 years. So it's a huge loss because the economy's outpaced the growth. But the value is in the land. I tried. I couldn't make it to 10 minutes. Ooh, baby.